thinking, man, I hate small talk, you know that, guys. I know all of you do. I'm confident in betting my last dollar that probably everybody who follows me on this channel, or most people, hate small talk, right? I know that's not really a nice word to use, but sometimes you got to be honest. And I never liked it as a kid, and that's going to be the basis of this video. This is what I'm going to teach you today, coach on today, is how to improve your social anxiety in all your relationships in any area of life, dating, business, family, friends, day to day, by eradicating small talk from your life as much as possible, and having the courage, to be vulnerable, honest, and truthful with people. And for most part, at least in my experience, like, people love it. They love it when you're real. They love it when you're genuine and you're honest with them. And I think there's two reasons why, or maybe one, right? I've learned from people's psychology and all the years of teaching and the socializing I'm still learning. Because when you're honest with people and you're open and you don't do small talk, it gives them a feeling that it makes them feel safe. It makes them feel non-judged, that they can also open up with you as well. So some people may argue, and I could agree on it, small talk has its place. And I would say small talk does have its place. In my life personally, it doesn't have much of a space, right? And I would say small talk can come in handy. Obviously, there's times when you go into a shop, you've got to buy something, you haven't got time, there's a big queue, there's people behind you, they're impatient. And, you know, and the person serving you hasn't got time. So you have a short window of time. So you haven't got time to get into the deepest, most meaningful things in life and your life. So it's going to be something like, you know, hi, excuse me, yep, what would you like? Yep, this is, you know, $9.99. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. You pay, you get your stuff and you leave, right? So obviously I haven't got a problem with that, because that's nobody's fault. That's just a necessity. But a lot of people in their life, they're doing small talk in all their relationships, and that's why they're not happy. I could reduce it down to that reason, because I've come to realize the reason why small talk is such a miserable thing and a miserable way to be continuously throughout your relationships and your interactions, because it creates this atmosphere where it feels like you're in a prison. It just creates this energy where it just feels depressing. It just feels dark. It just feels like you can't be yourself. It just feels boring. It's so restricted. So small talk's too strict. It's too safe on both parts. And I always feel, right, I love your thoughts on this, by the way. I always feel when I'm having small talk with someone, or when they're giving me small talk, it almost feels like love is absent. I know that's quite deep. I'm being honest. It almost feels like there's no love, there's no empathy, there's no kindness between you and the person you're speaking to, or the group of people you're speaking to, and it just doesn't feel right. It never did as a kid. I didn't care what I respected, but I didn't care what other people thought, because I just knew in my own heart as a young kid, you're learning, you're in the world, you're observing, you're engaging, sometimes you're not engaging. And I think anyone who's had social anxiety is hyper aware of other people's behaviors, their energy, their motives. Usually they're quite sensitive. Usually empaths, right? Without generalizing, but in my consistent experience from coaching, friends, my own personality, learning, growing, you come to realize it. Now, I'm sure there's people out there, actually. I dated someone a long time ago who actually didn't agree with me, which is fine, and I didn't agree with them, and they did like small talk, and they felt like it was appropriate in certain social situations. And I've already made my point as to where it can be, where there isn't time. But I also feel, just because you don't have that much time to speak to someone, whether you're just getting, like if you get on the train, or like if you're, wherever you need customer service, you go in Starbucks, it doesn't mean you can't be kind, you can't be nice. And I think a lot of people, if they're asleep and they're unconscious and they haven't woken up, or they haven't got much self-awareness, respect, empathy for others, and they don't have this type of, like I said, empathy, that's probably the best word I could use. It's very easy then to be nasty when you're talking to people, to have that kind of passive aggressiveness, which you see so much of today. I'm just being honest. I'm not ranting, I'm not complaining. I have great conversations with friends about this, and I thought it'd be great to do it on YouTube, extend it. And it's like, people are so miserable. And I'm glad that I'm not like that in my life, that when I go into situations or if I'm talking to someone, I'm always looking for the best possible outcome. I always want to make that person feel great about themselves. And I want to have like this positive energy or this fun energy, right? And obviously I know people say like in workplaces and university, there are times where you haven't got a choice, and I understand that, you're right. There are certain things, but I would challenge that and say most times in your life, you don't have to do small talk. And a lot of people do it on YouTube as well in their videos. I've noticed it, and you'll probably notice I don't really do it in my videos. Only a little bit when I have to, and I don't enjoy it, I don't feel good about it. So I think if you want to be a more complete person and you want to be really great with people and more socially confident, have great social skills, be a great communicator, it's knowing when to make small talk work and put the best energy forward that you can. So like I said, if I am having small talk with someone, I'm going to radiate a positive, loving energy as best as I can, right? Obviously, none of us are perfect, we have bad days, but generally, I'm consistent with it, I practice it. I'm so aware of it because I want to treat people how I want to be treated. I don't like it when people give me the small talk energy because it makes me feel miserable, down. Obviously, it doesn't always take me to that place because most of the time I'm feeling great. I come from the gym. So, but yeah, you know, the origin of it, I think it's quite a British thing. It's very big in British culture, and I do think sometimes it does come from that kind of good aspect of British culture, which I like, where you know you're being respectful of the other person, you don't want to offend the other person, and I'm all for that. But I think people take it too far. I think when you give someone talk from the heart, you are respecting them, yeah, and they do appreciate, and it makes the conversation exciting. And I'm telling you, when I reduced my small talk in my life, I'm going to be honest with all of you. Why wouldn't I be? You know, I didn't do it consciously, but now I made more money over the years. I became a successful entrepreneur. I changed people's lives. My dating life went better. I could just connect with people, and then what starts to happen is, which is a nice thing. I hope you guys have experienced this, or it will happen to you. People kind of get a sense that you're not judging them for most part. You're quite open, you're caring. You've been through things in life, good things, negative things, like we all have, and they feel immediately comfortable in your presence, and they start opening up. So I just think it's the way forward. I think it always has been, and I think any intimate relationship can't be intimate with small talk. It's impossible. You just can't do it. It closes the doors. It does close the heart down. It does, and it creates a certain atmosphere, which for me is hostile, definitely fake, definitely artificial, definitely putting on a mask, definitely wearing a social, 100%. So the reason why, coming back to the teaching now, is get into it. Hit the like button if you're enjoying it. The reason why it doesn't help a person to improve their social anxiety and gain their confidence, because when you're doing small talk, you're not connecting with people properly. You're not getting those emotions. You're not getting that connection. So if you're not getting a connection with people, there's no healing won't take place, and there's no bonding. There's no real solid relationship, and that's the foundation of a proper relationship. It's communication. It's communication, and the communication has to be honest, truthful, respectful, and all those things will automatically create love. Obviously, that's what really relationships are supposed to be about anyway, healthy ones. Love, respect, and truthful communication. And if you've just got loads of small talking, then there isn't much love coming through. There just isn't that type of energy. It's not that type of atmosphere. And the content of what you're saying is just bull crap. It's crap, it's rubbish. It's like, oh, yeah, how was your weekend? But you don't really mean it. You don't care about the person's weekend. You don't even care. You're saying things that you don't even mean. And then they're responding because they know obviously that you don't care, and then you just go, yeah, it was great. I went away for the week, or I went, or had dinner or whatever. And that's it. It doesn't go anywhere, and then it'll be on to the next question. It's like, what's your plan for the next week? So I'm not saying you can't ask someone how's your weekend, but there's two different places of coming from. When you're coming from being genuine, you're asking them because you genuinely care about their weekend, and then you want to hear about it. It's not just like, how was your weekend? Yeah, my weekend was great. And then when you go to tell me about it, I don't want to hear about it. I haven't got the patience. That's where the nastiness comes in, and the lack of social skills and just the lack of empathy, basically. So when you have relationships, and I have them, so I can speak on it, and I'm trying to educate people, inspire them, and coach them through these videos, so you can have it. And if you've already got it, brilliant. Then you've already got it. But if you haven't, listen up. When you've got, and when I say relationships, it doesn't have to be many. It could be, I would say, could be just one person in your life, one person that you can have complete transparency with, openness, and you can talk about what's really going on, positive things, negative things, things that you're worried about, and you can help each other and encourage each other. And it's so much fun. There's so much humour that comes off the back of it. So I always get questions over the years, guys saying, how can I improve my conversation skills with women, with people, stop doing small talk, or just eradicate it? Like I said, I only use it when I have to, and I just use a little bit of it and then back to real talk. And the same on my videos or with people. And sometimes it's funny, you can break a lot of the societal kind of beliefs and conditioning. And I've had amazing conversations with a person at checkout in Tesco's or Starbucks or all kinds of places, because you're more open-hearted. And obviously sometimes you're going to engage people that don't want to open up, and I respect that. People should be, you respect people's, you don't have to agree with it, but you think, okay, fine, if that person, some people are not comfortable, and I respect that. You can respect that and leave them be with that. But for most part, and of course it takes courage, it's fear. People do small talk because they're scared. They're scared that the other person won't like them, is going to judge them, is going to think bad things about them. And some people just haven't got the stamina to do it. They just can't go there. It's some people just can't do it. And they don't want to do it, and they're not ready. Where there might be a lot of you on this video who actually can't go there yet because of fear, and I totally understand that, which is why I make the videos and teach. But you want to go there. You have the hunger, the determination. So just keep following the videos and think about investing in my mentorship, coaching. And if you want to do that, as always, there's an email below this video. If you email me, we can schedule a Zoom call, and then I can talk to you and see if I can work with you, if I can help you. Obviously, not everyone's coachable, and I can explain price, logistics, time, what you need. Any questions you've got, you can talk to me. I'm pretty open. And obviously, I can't say for sure I'm obligated to work with you, because I'm not, and you're not obligated to work with me either. So even the way I sell and offer my programs, just honesty. It's not tricks, and sometimes people do get into that, the whole being manipulative, tricking, and I find small talk is all in that kind of direction of basically dishonesty, and I don't enjoy it, and I try and eradicate it to as little as possible. I'm not saying that just because someone is doing small talk that they're not an honest person and they're not trustworthy. I'm not saying that, because they can be, but I'm just saying it can lead to that. It can be in that area of dishonesty, nastiness, passive aggressiveness, which is, like I said, it goes on a lot today. People are not happy, and they're just resentful, and they're just projecting it onto everyone that they interact with. And I would just choose not to live like that. Thank God I'm not like that. And every day I try and be mindful of not being like that, and just not taking it personal as well when people are like that. So I never liked it as a kid. I don't like it as an adult. And I think for me, on a positive note, we're going to end on a positive. The connections that I've had, especially I think after COVID and before it, sometimes I think, I wish I had a camera. I don't want to film everything so people could see this conversation I'm having with a friend, because it's brilliant, it's fantastic, it's better than a podcast show. Things we talk about are things that everyone would be interested in. Everyone's going through, everyone's feeling, everyone's deep down, everyone's going through these things, and success things, and everything, life, relationships, diet, traveling, boxing, sports, introspection, personal development, politics, God, everything. No boundaries, but with a respect for one another, with respect and space for the other person, and being present as well. Can't be present when you're doing small talk, because small talk is when you're stuck in your head, when you're overanalyzing, when you're so afraid of what the other person thinks, you're so scared of offending someone, you're scared to love them, scared to love one another. I know I've gone a bit deep here, but it's true. And I want to say it, and I've felt this for a long time, and I've had these conversations till dusk till dawn with friends, and it's been brilliant. But I've never really externalized it onto a YouTube video, and I wanted to come on today because I think it will wake a lot of you up if you're a bit asleep, splash some cold water in your face and make you think about that you want to be more genuine in your interactions. And that's a great way to give value. People are always saying, how can I be more valuable to other people and give value? It's not always a monetary thing. It's not always about money or material things. It's meaningful talk. If you give meaningful talk to people, wow, people will look at you differently. Now of course it's some people get triggered because they're insecure, they're in a dark place, I understand that, or they're just negative by nature, they want to be miserable, which I don't agree on. Why would anyone want to live their life and be a miserable person and put pain onto other people? Why would you want to be like that? I don't understand it. So you have to understand that sometimes people do try and attack you, like socially and energetically, because they don't like seeing you that you're, like happy in the face and positive and outgoing and you're confident, you're enthusiastic, you can speak up. So this is why for social anxiety, small talk helps you to be a public speaker in all areas of life, in business, in your career, especially in dating. I mean, how many women have complained and said, I went on a date with this guy and it was so boring, didn't really open up? And how many of men have complained? Both of us. So I've been fortunate to have such meaningful conversations with women and such meaningful conversation with my friends with guys. And I've got so many meaningful conversations with clients over the years. Some of you might be on this video now watching it. We've had conversations through coaching, through things that have had to be spoken about. So something to think about, and if you start practicing this, which is a huge part of getting over social anxiety anyway, because there's one thing, of course, on a practical level, and just, kind of like most obvious advice is if you've got social anxiety, go out and speak to people, that's correct. But there is a part where, but what are you saying to people? If you just go out and do small talk with people, then your anxiety isn't going to go away 100%. It might improve a little bit, but if you go out and you have meaningful conversations with people, it's a game changer. We're talking first division to Premier League. We're talking world class to the elite level, whole different level altogether. You're in a different place, and your relationships will be so much more fruitful. So I don't like small talk because it's boring, it's predictable, it's fake, it's disingenuous, has no guts, no truth in it, no honesty, no essence whatsoever. Whereas meaningful talk is so courageous, it's truthful, it's honest, it makes a great atmosphere, and it's full of love. So that's my intellectual debate and reasoning for why I prefer meaningful talk over small talk. And that's the teaching today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the box below. Most of you don't do small talk in the comments anyway, which I love and I appreciate. I try and read all the questions and get back to you if I can. So see you next video, all right? Become fearless.